Wanting to be liked by everyone is something that will greatly hold you back in life. This is something that tends to happen more to people who are slightly on the insecure side, where we want to be liked and appreciated by as many people as possible because it makes us feel wanted and like we are on the right track, pretty much. And I used to be that way myself. I used to want everyone to like me and to approve of me, and I wanted to have as many friends as possible when I was in high school, and it just doesn't really work because at the end of the day, you'll realize that you can't actually be liked by everyone. It's impossible. I can tell you right now, if you were the best person on the planet, the kindest and the goodest, most good, however you'd say, person on the planet, then there would still be people who wouldn't like you. And in those cases, it would quite often be because they're insecure and your goodness ends up triggering them and making them realize that they're not all that great of a person and they don't want to have those thoughts. So they don't want to be around you and they don't want to see you, so that they end up making that comparison. And thus, they will end up not liking you because you make them feel that way, even though you would be one of the best people on the planet. So, knowing that, don't aim to be liked by everyone. It's not going to happen, and it's such an unhealthy thing because it will often lead to people pleasing tendencies, which will make everyone around you happy, potentially, because oftentimes that doesn't even work, and you'll end up making yourself unhappy. So you're basically, with people pleasing tendencies, you're putting everyone before you, and that's just not a good thing either. You don't want to make other people a priority, especially if they're just your coworkers and your acquaintances. I mean, even with your friends, you should not place your friends above yourself because that's just an unhealthy route to go down. You should put yourself first and then not be selfish at the same time, which, if you need to understand how to do that, just watch some of my previous videos that I've made on the topics because I won't go into that in this one. But what you want to aim to do if you do have that tendency to desire being liked by everyone is start shifting your mentality away from thinking what everyone thinks of you and start thinking what you think of everyone around you. So instead of asking if people like you or trying to figure out whether or not they like you, try to figure out whether or not you like them. This helps immensely with people pleasing tendencies and with that desire of wanting to be liked by everyone. Because you'll quite often realize something. You'll realize that you don't even like the people that you're trying to be liked by. It's really interesting, and it's also kind of ironic in many cases. And when you realize that, you'll know that you actually don't really want to put into effort to be liked by them because, hey, maybe there's someone who they're being liked by them doesn't mean much. Maybe they're not a great person. Maybe they're not somebody you look up to. So if they like you, then who cares? It doesn't mean much of anything. And if they don't like you, the same thing goes. You should really only aim to be liked by people who you actually look up to, people who you would stand to benefit from keeping around you in your life. Because everyone else, if you just are always getting caught up on trying to be liked by everyone, you're just going to waste a lot of time, effort, and energy on people who aren't even going to be in your life for very long, and it's just not worth it. Take it from me. Like I said, I used to be a people pleaser. I used to want to be liked by everyone as much as possible, and I just learned at some point that it doesn't work, and it's really unhealthy. You just don't need to be liked by everyone. And like I said, there are a lot of people out there who aren't even worth being liked by because, well, they haven't put in the work to make their opinion actually have a lot of value behind it, have a lot of weight behind it. And that's the truth. So in those cases, try to shift your attention to asking yourself whether or not you like these other people that you're trying to be liked by, because that is far more important. And also, this goes heavily for dating and relationships as well, because this is a game changer here. It'll make you stop being needy, trying to gain some romantic interest attention, and instead you'll start thinking, hey, is this person even worth my time and energy? Are they a good person? Are they someone who's of high quality or close to high quality? Are they somebody that I even want to enter into a relationship with? And when you start asking those questions, all the neediness is going to fade away because you're shifting the frame from being on you to now being around them, centered around them. And that just eliminates a lot of problems that we end up creating when we're trying to see whether or not the other person likes us. And it makes dating a whole lot of a healthier process because now you're not going to be so self-centered when you're going through it, and you're going to be shifting your attention to try to spot red flags in the other person, which is also a very handy thing to do, because too many people just ignore red flags and only focus on whether or not the other person likes them, and they never stop and ask themselves whether or not this other person, if they even like them, and if this person is even worth dating. So make sure you always do this when you're dating as well. It's just such a helpful thing. But anyway, I hope this video helped you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Arrivederci!